Hi everybody. In this video, I want to talk to you about what to expect in this class and how it might be different from other math classes you have taken. In a traditional math class, the teacher spends a lot of time telling the students rules, definitions, and procedures. And being successful in the class means being good at memorizing and repeating these things. We might do some of that in this class, but it is not the most important thing we will do. In this class, our job will be more like the job of detectives or scientists or mathematicians. When we approach a new topic, we will often begin by asking questions, making and checking conjectures or hypotheses, and then building theories about how things work. If I give you a procedure or a rule, it is more likely to be a tool to help you do this job rather than something you need to memorize just because someone said to. There are certain types of questions I will use again and again, and these questions are an important part of how we will work. I want to make sure you understand why I am asking these questions and what kinds of answers I am looking for. For example, I will sometimes show you a set of 4 pictures and ask you which one doesn't belong. I will ask you to make a claim about which one doesn't belong, and also your reason for that claim. There is never just one right answer. In fact, the 4 pictures are chosen so that there could be many good reasons for choosing any of them. The point is not to get the right answer, but to notice similarities and differences between things, and to describe and explain what you see. Another thing I will sometimes do is show you 2 or 3 objects and ask you what is the same and what is different. Or I might even show you one picture and ask you what do you notice and what do you wonder. Like which one doesn't belong, there is no one right or wrong answer. Because there are lots of different good, possible answers, these kinds of questions provide a starting point for us to have conversations about what we are studying. They also help me to understand what you already know, what you want to know, and what you find important or interesting or just confusing. As students of math, like good detectives or good scientists, we need to consider all of the information we have from as many angles as possible before we decide what things mean and how they fit together. If we do this, the things we learn will make more sense to us, and it will be easier to remember them and use them in new situations. So remember, the most important thing is not getting the right answer, but being willing to explain what you think and to ask other people good questions about what they think. That doesn't mean there will never be questions with right or wrong answers, but that these questions are often less important and definitely less interesting than the ones that help us to understand why something is right or wrong. In this class, those are the ones we should care about the most.